I am deeply relaxed in the effortless flow and fulfillment of God's loving grace. Hello, my friends. This is Pernilla from Divine Feminine Flow, and I may share my little sentence more often because it is becoming more and more obvious how important that is, and how at the core that seems to be what we all want. Even though we may not know it yet, we may not not know yet what it means or what it feels like. But I think that inside of us, there is just a longing for peace, for ease, for grace, less effort, less struggle, less strive. And it's hard to know how to make that transition when we are living in that turmoil out in the world all the time. Everybody is doing it, everybody is busy, everybody is running around, going much faster than what is natural for them. And all out there trying to survive, make ends meet, um, being successful. It's just this thing that we're all getting pulled into, and we're actually being pulled out from the flow where all this is already fulfilled, happening. There's nothing else but fulfillment in and as the flow. But we don't know that. And that's why it's hard to let go of that survival struggle and turn inside and at least start being curious. For some people, it is easier than it is for others because we have more things in the world. Survival, making money, those are big issues. We need to make ends meet. So I'm not going to undermine in any way if you are somebody where you just have to have two jobs to pay your bills, to feed your kids, all that. That makes it a lot harder. But we can always find time for a minute here and there. And it really is enough in the beginning to just put the brakes on, stop your fast pace just for a minute, and then feel. It's really starting to feel what you really want. And part of what we really want in the beginning is a very clear what we don't want. So if you are somebody who's out there, just rushing, surviving, struggling, the question, do you really want that? I'm not saying it to be offensive in any way. I'm saying it for you to just check in before your mind says, yeah, but I have to. And I understand that. And it is real in your external world. It's very real. But if you ask yourself that question, is this really how I want to live? Just for a moment, at least honor your answer. Maybe it is what you want. There are people who love being busy like that. Great. Then absolutely do it. Stay there and enjoy it. If you're somebody who is more like, gosh, I cannot believe if I have to live my life like that in survival mode for the rest of my life, but I don't know what else to do. Maybe you can at least ask yourself the question, is that what I really want? And if you get a no, just stay with your answer. Stay with what your inner is telling you, is giving you as a sensation or a feeling. And then just the next step would be like, well, what do I want? For most of us, it is, I want to have more peace and more ease. And then the mind kicks in and says, I don't know how. That is okay. Your mind does not know how. It has no clue. The only thing your mind knows about is duality, struggling, surviving. It's the opposite of the flow. So that's why when we are in the duality of life, which is our mind, we don't even know that we can question that. We don't even know that there might be another way. And for most of us, when we have had enough and had more than enough, it's like, I just don't care. I just don't care anymore. I just don't want to effing do it anymore. That's when an energetic shift is happening. You're feeling something from the depth of your soul, or the flow, whatever you call it. There's something that is just like, I'm done. I am just done. I do not want to live that way anymore. I don't want to live in survival and in just barely making it. I am just done. That simple admission is very powerful. It's an energetic shift that happens in you. And from then on, you may not be able to change anything for a while, but something has changed. It's almost like you have opened up for the flow. You're acknowledging that there must be something else. And in that, it's like you can give yourself to that new sense, that new knowing. It's like, I don't want to do that anymore. I just want more of this. Now, this is a place where I would call it true prayer can happen, because you don't know how to do it, but you know that there is something inside that wants to do it in a different way. So then you can sit in that sense of what you do want, more peace. You just say, I just want more peace, but I have no idea how to get there. That place of not knowing, that is your friend. It's not your enemy, it is your best friend. In the not knowing, you are opening up. You're kind of making yourself receptive for that longing for peace. You can sense there is something in there, right? It's like, oh, I just want peace. So you open up to this sense of what you want and say, I want this. Show me how. Show me. Give me an indicator, and a hint. Give me something to show me how to get there, how to land there, how to make myself available for that. That is all you need to do. Staying there, it helps you to open it up, to make yourself available for it to start flowing into your life. It's not something that your mind could ever figure out how to do. Your mind is the opposite. Your mind is the hard worker. There is no flow in the mind. You are the flow. I am the flow. And I need to make myself available. If you don't believe there is a flow, that is fine. But there is something in all of us that wants something else than this hard struggle and survival. That is the cue. It's almost like that is the door you can sit at and let this enter into you as you. Instead of closing the door and saying, oh, I have to do it myself, and this is, I don't have time for that. 1 minute, a few times a day, everybody has time for that. Even if you're already too busy, you can make time for 1 minute, maybe 3 times a day to start with. It is just beginning to acknowledge what is actually in you, what your flow wants to express. And all you and I need to do is make ourselves available through silence, through receptivity, and through not having a clue. It's not like you got to go in and figure it out. You go like, I don't know. I just don't know. Show me. And with that, let me share what lives in my heart 24/7 for many years. Again, I am deeply relaxed in the effortless flow and fulfillment of God's loving grace.